Hello, I am Gary Shotton. I am part of Inspiring Better Business. We're located in the United States of America, and we are here to help you improve your business using God's laws for business. Well, today we're answering some questions or some situations that we've discovered even just last week. And this came from a gentleman in Jinja, Uganda, and the question was, how can we do marketing? How can we do marketing in a better way? Well, the answer to this is universal. We try to answer these questions in a bullet point method. So I'm going to give some stories of how some people had a very similar situation, and I have personal knowledge about these stories. Then I'm going to list about 6 different points that I think you could understand in general how you can apply and improve your marketing, especially when you're first getting started. So you see, everyone needs customers. Well, my friend Ernie, he had a general contracting business, has a business contracting, and he was needing more customers. He has the skills, he has the experience, he has the desire, and somehow he was discussing this, and someone in a local TV station got a hold, and they made a sales pitch. They showed him how much the value of adding this expense, this cost to put on an ad on TV. Oh, and this was quite expensive, very expensive. And he committed to that for 6 months. And he told me point blank, he said, Gary, I didn't get one lead. Not one call came from that experience. All that money wasted. My other friend, Mark has heating and air conditioning. We have the desire for these are both services, and he also had his business going, only a one-person operation, doing great. He says, I need more customers. How do I market? Almost the exact story. He was encouraged to invest a chunk of money, and it was a fairly large chunk of money, and do some things so he could look bigger actually than he really was. And once again, in his case, he might have got a couple leads, but after 4 or 5 months, he had to quit. This is not working. Well, this could be repeated over hundreds and hundreds of times. If you have a business, and especially when you're getting started, you ask that question, how can I get customers? And we use the name marketing, the ability to get people to connect with you. You see, if someone connects with you and you have a chance in either by email or by phone or in person, the marketing did its job. Now it's up for you to make the sale. That's another step. Well, both needed customers. Well, number one of the 6 points, know your customer. Know the customer you're going after. You see, you can't just say the word customer. You have to know more about the customer you're going after. And it's related to your product or service, yes. And who are they? Where do they shop? What do they do now? Where are they getting their information? I don't care what you are supplying as a product or a service. They're getting that someplace now. In general, if they're in your food business and you have a market, then someplace they're buying food at the market. If you have a vehicle and you need service for your vehicle, get in the mind, review, ask, visualize, where is your customer? Who is the customer? Who is making the decision? And develop that into what you could do as a customer. That's number one. Who is your customer? And if you don't know, that's a very good reason you start really small to kind of determine who your customer, who do you fit really well. And then when you come into knowing your customer, you're going to have to spend some money. Well, first of all, I suggest you spend the very least amount of money as you can on marketing. And you spend it in a way you get the most return for it. Large sums of money expended for startup businesses in general is a huge mistake. Now, as you get rolling, even on your first customers, even as you're going all the way, I think, through life, you could say of your business, life of your business, you could say, what are my numbers? What are my sales? What are my actual sales? my actual sales. Well, they're not much, but you can't give away too much of that once you're running. So I say in any kind of startup, even there and later on, don't spend more than 1 or 2% of your total sales. So if you had a sales, and I'm just going to make real broad numbers, if your sales was 10,000, whatever, then what is 1%? Well, that would be 1,000. 10,000, I'm sorry, that would be $100. $100. 10,000 minus 10, well, we 1,000 minus another point would be $100. That's all you can spend. Well, how are you going to spend that? I hope my numbers are right there. And how are you going to spend that? You have to know your numbers. You have to know that you're only spending a limited amount of money for your marketing. I know you're going to look at me and say, well, hold it, I need to spend a whole lot of money so that I can get lots of customers. But I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying. Now, in that limited spending, then you should understand that your numbers are going to reflect that the customer, the best place you can spend your money, in my opinion, and I can prove it over and over and over again, on your first customers, on your what we call your repeat customers. After you're experimenting on a small basis with what you have, that's what we understand. Even if you're expanding into a new market or expanding to a new level, there is absolutely no question that your existing customers, your repeat customer, is by far your very, very, very best person to cause your company to expand. It is. It is. And you don't have to spend much money when you're spending the bulk of your money. I recommend 80% of your, if you take 10%, 1% of your total sales, and then that's a dollar amount, and then you 80%. So if you had 10,000 in sales, then you have 100 in marketing money, and now you take $80 out of that 100. That would be 80% of that 100, and now spend it on your current customers. Do things that would say thank you. Be sure that you're doing things inside your company that you know for sure that your customer leaves happy. I know of businesses that they're the one, even though they have lots of skills. This is a restaurant I'm aware of. That person is always at the cash register, collecting money. And the owner of the company, in this case, you can't always do this. But why is he at the cash register? Why is he the one that watches the customer leave? Because the owner of the company is judging, was that customer happy when they left? If they weren't happy, why weren't they happy? What was the reason they weren't happy? Maybe the food was not good enough. Maybe the service wasn't what they were expecting. This is the law of creating value. The law of creating value says you have a fair exchange, because you have to have that fair exchange in order for that customer to come back and feel good and come back again and again. I'm telling you, your base of customers, the repeat base of customers, is the bulk of your business. That's what you want to focus on. Repeat customers, repeat customers. Example, if I had a coffee shop with some pastries and some light sweet things, well, then I would be in a position to know my customer when they come in, and they're so happy that when they think, oh, I want a cup of coffee, and it's got to be close by, it's in their pathway, maybe across the street, they're going to regularly want a cup of coffee. They want it every day, every week. They think of you and they come back. They think of you and they come back. If you're buying groceries, just ask yourself, every day do you go to a brand new grocery store? No, you go basically to the same store because you're familiar with it. That's what I do. I come back as a repeat customer. Where I shop and where we shop, we go back and we drive by a lot of other places where we could buy the same kind of things, because we go back where we're familiar with, where it's organized. They have systems. They have fair prices. All of the laws of doing business are in place at where I shop. And if they're not in place, then I look for another place. And so repeat, I can't say it loud enough. I can't say it long enough. I can't say it strong enough. And now your $80 will go a long ways in saying thank you to the customer. You could give some little cards. You could add a little mint. I have somebody that I bought some bread and they add a few mints in to say thank you. Because what? I'm a happy customer. I'm a repeat customer. And so that is your primary investment for your marketing. I know somebody's looking at this, say, this is ridiculous. I'm looking for this new idea, this new exciting thing that's just somehow going to just blow the socks off of all these customers that are going to come because I have this new technology, this new gadget, this new idea. I'm telling you, that's deception in 99% of the time. It may happen occasionally, but it doesn't happen regularly. Now, when you have a repeat customer, you can add some value out of that 8 or 10, maybe $10 for the referral customer. See, when you know that you were somebody went happy, and then you came in, and the next person that came in, you see, then you found out that they were referred to you by the other person that was happy, and they will talk. They will talk when it comes around, whether they're just together or they think, hey, where did you get this or that? Where did you get this service? Where did you get this product? And they will say, oh, well, I got it down here, and they treated me so good. Now, the opposite's true. If your customer leaves unhappy and somebody says, wow, where did you get? And I said, well, I got it over at this business, this company, this person, but honestly, I wasn't very happy. That's the difference. You have a referral customer. That's number 4. Now, number 5, how would you know? Well, in my business, my first business, we asked certain things on every single call. My business started with a phone call. It doesn't matter what the business was, but every single time it started with a phone call. And I would ask some very critical 5 or 6 things. I would say, what is your name? How do I get in touch with you? Like a phone number. In my case, we were moving furniture. So in general, are you in my same city or in another city, or what part of town? So that was, where were you moving from? Where are you moving to? And then I asked another question. I said, how did you come about? What prompted you to call me? And they would then say, well, my neighbor. Oh, my neighbor. Who was that neighbor? Do you mind if I get that name? So, oh, who was that? Or if I did some advertising, I did some advertising because I wanted customers in addition. Or if you happen to advertise a little money, just a little money in another way, like the radio, or just a little money in maybe some kind of print material. And they say, oh, well, I saw that you had pasted this flyer or this bulletin at this spot. Write it down. Write it down. Keep track of that. Keep track of that. Know what is causing people to come to your business or call you. When you know that, then put the money where the most people are actually lining up. In other words, get in the line, get in the path of where the people are already finding out about you. Repeat, that's going to be 1. Referral, that's going to be 1. So if you had that coffee shop, every time that customer comes in some way, make a mark. Hey, they came back. They came back. They came back. And if you had 100 customers that day, were 25 of them or 45 of them or 75 of them, were they repeat? And then you have another category of they were referral. We're just going to have a few referrals, but those are good. And then the others might be, well, I was just walking by. You see, here's the difference between just a customer and a repeat and referral customer. You can never, in my opinion, make a business in most businesses by just having what I call one and done, that you never, ever see them again. There's a few businesses that's true, but one and done. So whatever you do, there's some element of repeat in the way people buy products and services. And so record it. And then don't spend that's number six, is don't spend a large sum of money on some wild scheme, some technology, something that's untested. If you want to try something, try a little bit. Oh, can you sign a contract for 6 months for TV? No, I'm not going to sign a contract for 6 months because I haven't tested it. And I ask around. Now I'm going to make a couple quick examples and we're done. I love the examples of hairdo. Someone that has a hair salon. Because you see, men especially, if they have hair, they go back to the same, we call barber, you call salon or saloon, or even my wife. She's gone back to the same hairdresser every single time she gets her hair fixed because she likes the way she fixes her hair. Men especially do that. So that's a repeat customer. And then when in process of time, they might be just mention, hey, where do you get your hair cut? Or somebody moves in. Then, hey, I go down here. That's a referral. That's what you want. There's your marketing scheme. There's your plan. Another good example was my friend. His name is Stuart. And he had a food business. Well, how did he launch his catering business where he does thousands and thousands of meals every week, several thousand every week in catering? A small operation, but how did he start? He just made some of his product here in the United States. He made it and then he took it to where he was working and everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. And he built up his customer base without any restaurant, he was cooking on his grill in his backyard, and it grew step by step. That's what you want. You can start small. You can use the wisdom of God, and we believe it's consistent with what we're talking, and you can expand, and we call this title marketing. Marketing. How do you get more people to come to your business? That's what we're talking about. Well, that's all the time I have today. Thank you for being a part of it. I hope this is helpful. Thank you very much.